Please welcome to the stage Mitali Chowhan, Director General at MRSI, who's going to tell us how the MRSI code goes viral.
So I never thought it would come a time that we'd see the code of conduct and viral in the same sentences. In 1988, when I started my career, we were told to read the code. I remember nothing of it. It was a punishment along with all the other punishments we were put through while we were on probation. There was some thou shalt not, there were some hitherto and henceforth, and there were lots of words like that. So that's my perception or memory of what the code was about. However, to get a little more serious about it, if you look at the very reason of being, at the heart of the purpose of the market research industry, is the fact that we aim to guide, encourage, and uphold the highest quality standards of professionalism. And there's a reason for this. If you don't have a duty of care towards respondents and data subjects, people will not talk to you, people will not let you use their data. If we don't have that level of commitment to our clients and to the general public, our whole industry repute will go down. And similarly, if you're looking at, even the kind of advocacy we want to do with the government, when we go to them and say, please consider us differently when you're building a law called the DPDP, when we tell them that we're a self-regulated industry and put a copy of the code in front of them, it makes a world of difference. Suddenly, from being a lot of chancers who could go off and do anything anywhere and, who knows what they'll do, we become an extremely well-regulated organization. But one of the things that we found about this code is there's a whole lot of urban legend. And the things that people say is, "Arey MRSI ne bola ki ye code mein nahi ho sakta," is typically, pardon me, clients, when a client doesn't want to pay an agency for something. And then they suddenly come up and say, oh, but the MRSI code doesn't allow this. Similarly, the other way, if an agency has been asked to do something quite difficult, then there's this sort of thing saying, oh, I think it's against the code. So we wanted to really bust this entire myth because this is a very living, relevant document that we felt it was important for all of us to get a handle on. Before I go any further, I want to thank the Professional Standards Committee. MRSI has created the Professional Standards Committee in 2020. We've had it chaired by Sanjay Pal and Dr. Derek Gray. Our current chair is Satyamurthy Namakal. We've also had people who have contributed to where we are today on the Professional Standards Committee, and I'll call out Bikramjit Chaudhary there, and definitely the other members of the current Professional Standards Committee, Anjana Pillai, Abhinav Goyal, Ravi Kumar Narayanan, and Amitabh Mishra. So the code we follow, just to give you a simple idea of it, is an international code. It's a living code. It's updated for things like AI. It's updated for things like synthetic data. It's something that's the reason why we've taken the ICC SMR code, because it's taken care of all eventualities. And also, we have a really good relationship. Nitin touched upon this earlier. When they're creating any changes in the code, India has a role and a place at the table in the discussions. You can find the code on our website if you haven't read it already, because we did see a few hands up. But you can also do something else, which is what I'm going to tell you about. But before I get on to how we made this go viral, I just want to touch upon the fact that the code covers a set of principles. So it really says, apply to your mind that the end result of anything you do should not have this consequence. So, for example, you should not create any harm. You have a duty of care towards data subjects and so on. And to cover out the more details of it, this is the last boring slide I'm going to talk you through. I see people leaving. Is, there are guidelines to say there are things which are different for primary and secondary research, for vulnerable people, for polling, etc. So you have the guidelines and guidance documents. Okay, heavy stuff, but essential. But we suddenly had this task to say, which the PSC put to us, saying, how can we make this code engaging? How can we make a young researcher who's thinking about the code actually want to engage with it? How can we actually make it something that people look forward to going back to? 5 years of research, forgot what you were forced to read when you were on probation. How do we make it worth it? So that was our challenge. How do we make it interesting and engaging? So what we did is we created a code refresher course. And there's this very, I think, good-looking certificate that we have coming out of it. And if you are interested in this, you can go to our landing page, and its details out very clearly. What is the use and what is the benefit of the certification? And it's accessible to everyone and for all professionals. You don't have to be an MRSI member for that. If you're looking at the registration process, pretty straightforward. Put in an email ID, remember the email ID, you get an OTP, that's all it takes. And also their key FAQs, so I think it's pretty straightforward. We've had great response in the last two months, and we've had hardly any questions coming to info@mrsi.co.in, so I think our FAQs are good. So what does it actually take? So we've divided the code into 7 modules. 3 of them, of course, about duty of care for respondents, and the other ones, I don't have to read these out. But to make it engaging, we've actually got these lovely videos. I don't have time to play them, but we have to thank Siva from Curiosity Cat, who pro bono did all the work for us. We have 2 Indian voices, a male and female voice, and I mean, people clearly are enjoying it. People clearly are having fun getting the certification, the refresher course certification. And also, once you've gone through these modules, they're a fairly simple set of questions. It's all sorted. You don't have to do it in one sitting, etc. And we've made it something that you do have to read it, but it's also something where you don't need a PhD to get certified. It just shows that you have taken it on and you have been interested. And you've got practical insights for the tools to conducting research ethically and in compliance with legal standards. So now, how did it go viral? So we did this on the 1st of August. I think within the first week, we had a huge response. We were actually inspired by our managing committee to say, let's do a Willy Wonka with it. Let's say there's 3 golden tickets, and the first 3 people who get the code will actually have a chance to attend the MRSI seminar for free. We had such an overwhelming response that we actually have 5 of them with us today. A big show of hands for the people who won the golden ticket. That early start has now moved to, we have 455 people who have attempted to complete the code, and of them, more than 255 have already got the code. So I think a fantastic result, and I think we can feel really, really good about this. Before I hand over to some other great celebrations and people we will not call out for doing such a great job, I also want to share that I presented this at the association's leadership summit in Athens 10 days ago. And we had 35 countries, associations like MRSI, and other 34 countries like us, and they were absolutely wowed by the fact we'd done this. It was done with pro bono help. It was done with AI. It was just using PowerPoint and Narrowkit. And, you know, Siva is like a rock star across the globe for the fantastic work he gave. And that was a moment of true pride. I mean, Nitin was there in the room. I've had a lot of people coming back to us and saying, how do we do this? It is so cool and so simple. And we really, really think it's a good thing you did to figure it out. Yeah. Okay. So, as I said, this is the gift that keeps on giving. I hope every one of you consider taking the code. I would say that there are a lot of organizations with thousands of employees. I'm sure your new researchers, perhaps if you held a gun to your head while they were on probation, read the code. But I can bet you the ones who've been around for 3 or 4 years have forgotten it. And it's here, it's free, it takes no time. Please, please use this facility we've given you and get your teams to work on it. I would reckon that every 10 years or so, it doesn't hurt. The code does change. AI comes in, the world changed. It's not the same code you're looking at every year. So I would strongly urge you to please take this away and take it back to your organizations, make it happen. We've given this to you. We've made it easy for you. We may even have prizes. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on what you do. And with that, I hand over to Satyamurthy Namakal Satya, who is our current chair of the PSC.
I took over as the chair about a month ago. This is my first contribution to the committee. I want to hear a loud applause for those who established the code, the names Mitali read out, right? I didn't hear a good applause. No, you can do better, you can do better, you can do better. I know researchers don't get applauded, so you don't have to reciprocate it that way, right? Okay. I'm here to call out the top 3 organizations who have excelled in completing the course, the number by head count of people. The first one is Datamatics. Sandeep Arora, please come here. You can do better. You can do better. You can do better. Stay there. InfoLeap Market Research. Mr. Mulraj is here. I want to hear the applause till he walks up to the stage. Yeah. How many of you here have taken the course yourself? Can I see a show of hands? I have done it, though I'm not a researcher, it's very easy. 1, 2, 3. I want to encourage seniors here to first do it and be an example to your own organization. Encourage your people to take the course. Yeah. The last one I'm going to call out is on percentage of employees, the maximum percentage of employees completion. Purple Audacity Research is Shamila Das. Congratulations to them once again. Let them be an example for all of you. Sandeep, you want to say anything?
Thank you. So yeah, I completely endorse this view that the code is a very important sort of an element of what makes us as an industry which is highly integrity oriented. I'm advising one of the government bodies on how to build their connects with their stakeholders, and they're likely to carry out a big survey. And one of the things I have recommended, which is going to be there, is that RFP would be released only to those who are members of MRSI.
Very good.
The reason for that is because in this current digital age, there are so many agencies who have mushroomed, who don't, sorry for being honest, who don't quite understand the difference between a good market research versus collecting a survey. So I think we need to really differentiate, like how someone said earlier, the signal from the noise. And signal from the noise would be filtered through this code. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you. Once again, Datamatics, InfoLeap, and Purple Audacity. Thank you.
I wanted to add one more, thing. It's like you throw a stone and the ripples keep, cascading. So in a very small way, we have also started encouraging all our partners, whether they are, field vendors, transcribers, moderators, and we have started telling them about the code, which has been made so beautifully accessible by MRSI. So I think if each one of us were to just, start putting those small stones also, the ripples will become.
Thank you. Well said. Thank you. A round of applause once again, and we are done for the evening. and enjoy your evening. Thank you.